Good morning, I'm Carl Brown and today is Sunday, which means it's long run day. It's another 21-kilometer run. I'm going to have to be very careful with my footage today. I might have to take my camera out and shoot some on that because for some reason the GoPro ran out of charge overnight. It was fully charged when I went to bed and it was dead this morning. I've got it charged right now, so hopefully it gets me all the way to Loudon, which is the route I want to take today. I want to show you Loudon, or at least the route out to it, because it is such a nice little place. It might run out of charge on the way back, but I'll have the phone with me. I'll take a spare phone for the battery, and I'm going to buy a second battery for the GoPro. I don't trust you to hold a charge. Glaring at the GoPro. It's now 10 to 7, so I'm going to give it a little bit longer to let the GoPro charge. I'll use that time to do some dynamic warm-up and stretching, and I will see you out on the route. One kilometre in 5 minutes 40 seconds. Feeling quite good so far. About 20 kilometres to go. My legs don't feel anywhere near as tired as they have done on 1 kilometre in recent weeks. So, bodes well. Today's route's quite a flat one as well, so it should be a nice little run. Carvery, Carvery. Carvery. 26 minutes, got attacked by a bee. 26 minutes, 41 seconds for 5k. Legs are still feeling good. This is a nice flat route. I don't think there's much more in the way of hills between now and Loudon, where I plan to turn around and start heading back. So, see how my legs handle that. Sometimes just going straight flat with very little variation is what causes some of the issues. So we'll see. So the kilometres are starting to slow down now. Rolling pace is about 5 minutes 20 seconds. That last K was about 5 minutes 30, that was the 7th K. About 1/3 of the way through. Keeping a fairly decent pace. It's a bright, hot, sunny day, which is why I've got the visor and the sunglasses on. So I'm not expecting a massively quick time. Every run gets me closer to the Manchester Marathon. So that's Loudon. So I'm heading now to the village hall. I've been on the run for about an hour and 8 minutes. Taking a couple of walking breaks just to get my breath back. This is a very hot day out here today, so Let's see how things go. We've got about another 8-9k to go. Let's keep going. Oh, that was painful. Oh, that was painful. I don't know what's happened, but something's tweaked to my left knee, so I'm going to take a little bit of a walking break now just to let it settle down a bit. It's really not that happy as it should be. I'm definitely going to make it to the village hall and turn around and start heading back. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially since it is quite a trek to get back to my flat now. Let's see how things go. Take it easy because I want to make sure I make the Manchester Marathon start time. Only a few weeks, so I can't really risk getting injured. I've paused the run. I've got about 8 kilometers to go. Just let my legs rest slightly as they don't feel 100%. Something on the inside of my left knee is a little bit irritated. Giving it a few minutes just to calm down. Usually I'd be an idiot and run straight through it, but I'm not going to risk that today. Just a few weeks out from the marathon. Next week is a 20-mile run. If I have to run less just to make sure my legs are recovered ahead of Manchester, I will run less and let my legs recover ahead of Manchester. A little bit annoyed that I've had to take this break, but it is better to be safe than sorry. I've just turned 37, so my knees aren't in great shape with all the sport I've done over the years. Better to make sure I make the start line this year. I missed the first year because I got injured, had problems with my IT band. Last year COVID, this year I want to make sure I hit the start line. I'll start up again in about a minute or so. Try and get this last 8k done. That's why I'm in Village Hall. Now heading back towards the parents' place. Knees still a little tender, but not too painful. Quite decent. About 6.5k to go. Calves are a little bit tight. I need to definitely work on mobility. I'll do that once I get back to the flat. Put it back down. Grab a change of clothes. Head to the gym. Do some mobility work. And then get on with the rest of the day. But first, back to my parents' place to help my dad move a fridge. And that's today's run abandoned. About 15k done. I think my knee could take it, but you get to a point where your mind just tells you to stop, and I'd stopped to rest 2 or 3 times. Disappointed I've had to abandon the run, but it's better to be safe than sorry, and I do risk more serious injury if I try and run on this. And if your mind's just not in it, don't push it. There's no shame in abandoning something partway through. Yeah. There's a lovely song by a band called Churizas which says the same thing. Yeah. The song's called 10 More Miles. And it says, turning back's too late. It's too late to turn back. No, it's not, says the song. I'm just thinking on today's run as I walk back to meet my dad, who's going to pick me up on the way. It's not even 9:30 and I've burnt just under 2,000 calories already. So it's not a waste, this abandoned run. Yeah, I didn't hit 21k today, but I'm learning some things about myself. I've still burnt a lot of calories. My legs still feel okay. This isn't like 2019 where I would have been massively limping back because of playing down my IT band, when I think it took me 20 minutes, 25, about half an hour actually, to walk a mile, which for me is incredibly slow. Just shake that arm out a little bit. This feels as if give it a couple of days of probably sub 20,000 steps if I can stay sane enough to do that. We'll see how things go. My dad will probably be, I've arranged to meet my dad at a pub because they've got a car park he can turn around in. He'll be there before I am. So that was the run that ended up not being so great, wasn't it? 15 kilometers in about an hour and 25 minutes. I'll put the actual numbers up somewhere around here. What do I think went wrong? A few things I think went wrong. Firstly, my mind just seemed to give up on me after I slowed down a few times and took a few walking breaks and had to stop 2 or 3 times just to let the knee recover. So I think that was a huge part of it, was the mental aspect. And that's one thing that I've talked about before, is the mental fortitude you need to go out and keep going when you've got distances like this to run. You're training on your own, at least I am, so all I'm doing is listening to my music and pounding the pavements, and it gets tiring. I did have some other runners on that route, and I don't know why, I just got anxious when they were near me. Maybe I felt I wasn't good enough, maybe I felt that I was cheating, carrying my water with me, or it didn't enter my head at the time that I was probably running further than they were. Which sounds crazy and silly, but by the time that I did stop the 3rd time, my mind had just gone. My knee wasn't feeling great. There was a bit of pain on the inside just below the kneecap, so that could be a bit of overuse. And I don't think the route that I took today really helped. It is a gorgeous route. I absolutely do love running and walking out that way. But it is very, very straight, very, very flat, and there's no deviation. I actually did say at one point that there were no more hilly bits really between then and on the way back. But once you hit part of Carlton and you're going straight then out to Loudon that way along the main road, it is just straight and straight and straight and flat. And there's not really any variation even in the surfaces that you're running on, because it is just continual straight road. You do have to cross a couple of roads on the route, especially as you get through a village called Burton Joyce. Pounding the pavement for that long, that straight, with no deviation, no turning left, no turning right. That's possibly overdone it with my knee. My knees are quite bad anyway from a career playing rugby as a kid, doing a lot of sport, never really letting any injuries recover. And I am paying for it now, and probably training to run a marathon's not the best idea I've ever had. But, it is what it is. The fact that the GoPro decided that it wasn't going to hold any charge overnight. I'm glaring at you, GoPro. That meant that when I woke up this morning and I was getting ready for the run, turned the GoPro on just to check everything's okay. Oh, suddenly I've got to put it on charge. I'm waiting for that, and I wanted to go out at 7 o'clock. I didn't go out until about 7:45, so mentally again I wasn't all there. And it does sound like I'm blaming things. I'm blaming myself for letting it get to me. It's one of those things that happens. I am studying a philosophy to try and deal with these kinds of issues, and I am getting better. It's one of those things that will take me time to get better. I'm not a sage, I'm not a full-fledged stoic. I am practicing. I'm always practicing. Stoics are always practicing. So that's the key thing for me, is do practice. So ahead of next week's run, I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'm only going to do 2 runs this week before tomorrow. I'm not going to do it easy. I'm going to schedule something into place, and that will be 40 minutes, 50 minutes, however long the run is. Exercise like at the gym. Yesterday I saw a consultant about my ankle. I mentioned that my ankle needs surgery. He's said that he wants to try a steroid injection in a month or 2 first. I just missed the timing to get it done this month